Okay. Comments from residents on non-agenda items. Finally, you guys talk.
So sorry, but
Y'all picked the wrong meeting to come to.
Yes, sir. Step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. You need to be a Gateway resident, your taxpayer. And you have approximately 3 minutes.
I'll be quick. So my name is Köşat Maptoglu. I'm a resident of Monroeville, also a Gateway School District parent. Do you need the address on the record, or should I fill it
when
in?
you sign it,
Well, I'll sign it in. So I wanted to share some views and frustration with the board on a topic which you may already know or about to deal with. This snowballed into some very uncomfortable situation for some of the families in our school district, which started from a drama in the girls' swim team, which was subsequent to an event.
sorry, we
Wait,
have to
wait,
interrupt
wait.
you, sir.
Just so you know, this matter has been taken up in executive session. This is a personnel matter, and we're not going to entertain any public comment on this at this time. The board ultimately may have to act as a quasi-judge in this matter, so I don't want them to hear anything. The administration is investigating this matter, and if you have anything you want to add to or subtract from, I would suggest that you contact Dr. Short tomorrow and give him your information so that we can have a full record of what it is. The administration then will make a recommendation to the board at some time, and at that point, your comments will become noted to them, but not until then.
Okay, very good. So first of all, you didn't hear what I was going to say.
Well, I
I'm
heard.
having
Why don't
problem
you
with
set
the
up-
way this is being handled.
So why don't you tell him what he can speak to before?
Well,
What?
I don't know what he wants to speak. I think he wants to
Talking about
speak.
Apple Jacks, he can, but.
Yeah, he can speak to, if you think.
Okay, sir, I have a problem with the school principal interviewing my daughter with two police
Okay,
officers
that's a
without
personnel
informing.
matter. That's
So-
something that you have to take
It's my
up.
problem.
I understand it's your problem, and I appreciate that, but it's one that you have to take up with the administration first. Then it comes to the board, not until that time. And you certainly have your rights to complain about whatever it is that you want to complain about, but do it through the process, because we could prejudice the process if we start to put things out of order. And I would suggest to you that if you talk to an attorney, he would explain that to you.
Okay.
Just right now, it's a matter of timing.
At what point in the process are we including in this investigation? I was not contacted
Well,
until I showed up here.
okay, and I would suggest to you that you may not have been contacted because they just may not have gotten to you yet, or weren't aware that you had something positive to say or negative to say.
So
Now
how
that
is
they-
this a fair process if you don't listen to my side of the story?
Now that
Not
we know about
publicly.
it,
You're not allowed to discuss
Yeah, we're not
personnel
gonna do it on
issues at
television.
a public meeting. It has to be done in private.
I wasn't going
No.
to discuss the personal matter.
Well, you mentioned a principal, so that's a personnel issue.
now you're singling out somebody.
And that's against the board policies. You
Again.
can't,
The bottom line is you're going to get your chance to talk and say whatever it is that you need to tell us, just it isn't done in a public meeting on television with all to hear about it when we start naming names and talking about performance of employees or students or any of that.
That's to protect both the students and the employees, which is our ultimate goal.
Yeah, the longer this process goes on, unfortunately, the victims are being penalized.
Here's what I'd suggest. Get with Dr. Short after the meeting, give him your name, phone number, and let him put his staff in touch with you.
Okay, thank you.
It's not that we don't want to hear from you, it's just right now we can't. hear
That's
from
right.
you.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, again, you're going to have your day.
How do I know that?
Because I told you.
oh,
That's part of the school code.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wanted to talk?
Maybe not now, right?
I feel like, do they understand? The kids understand?
Well,
don't understand.
sometimes, if they have questions, they can come up after the meeting and talk all they want. But they're just not gonna do it on the floor here and talk about names and people.
And the other thing is that he tried to mention is that if there's a situation with any employees, and it comes to the board at a point, we almost act like, think of it like a jury, okay?
Prejudged.
We can't have any information ahead of time, because then we can't vote or participate at all, because we're now biased, or we've now been privy to information that we shouldn't have.
So if you've ever sat on a jury in a real trial, and the court case goes on, and they lock you in a hotel room, they don't let you read newspapers, they don't let you talk to the Joe walking down the street. This is kind of one of those situations where any information that we hear now actually could be detrimental to the case one way or the other. So we have to stay impartial. I know it's frustrating, but it's just, this has to run its due course.
So if you do feel that you have to make some comments after this meeting, you have to make them to Dr. Short, Ms. Trump, the staff. Don't single out board members, because again, they're the ones that are gonna ultimately
did say Trump.
possibly be charged with hearing this matter.
You can send letters and emails to Dr. Short, to Mrs. Crump.
Trump.
And I've been
said Trump.
in conversation with you, sir, and
You
We
can,
had one conversation.
you can schedule
That's
private
weeks ago,
meetings.
And we don't know what's going.
and, you know, I can't comment further, and for the students to understand that with any information, individually, grades, transcripts, et cetera, I mean, it's all private and confidential information, and likewise with any employee, any person involved in the district, it is a confidential matter. And a public school board meeting is not the forum where we need to discuss events that happened, events that triggered your presence here tonight.
So does the school have a policy about informing the parents when police officers interview their student?
Again, I cannot comment at this time.
School policies, school district policy.
The policies are online. They're available on the district website. We can have further conversation about that at
I
another
would,
time, but not in
I would
public setting.
suggest that you schedule a meeting
Yes.
with Mr. Muftulo to discuss his concerns. It's just in private, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now, if you're having a hard time scheduling a meeting with Mr. Short, you can call Mrs. Cerrucci and she'll make that happen.
Just trying to be.
Just trying to help. I'm
Trying
helping.
to-
I don't think that's
Just trying to
gonna
reduce the
happen.
levity of the evening. It's also 8:45 and these poor
Yeah.
kids have been here for 2 hours almost, and now they can't talk. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything up at the high school that we need to know about that's bothering you? How's clubs? How's prom? How's the dress code? Anything else we could talk about?
Actually, we're doing a full program.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Please come up to the mic and tell us about your program.
That's a positive, please.
We want to end on something positive.
All right. Hi, I'm Anna Seeger. I am a student at Gateway. Sorry. It's not about this.
We know.
The Spanish 4 kids. The Spanish 4 kids, we've been going to University Park to teach first graders Spanish.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And next year it might become a class.
That's even more awesome. Thanks, Anna. You do wonderful,
Yeah.
Anna.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. She's crying about the other situation. Anybody else? All right, I think we do need to go to superintendent's report, though, Mr. McIntyre.